100 subscribers, yo.
100.
Keeping it 100 in this. Yo, that's 100 people who have joined our community.
Of introverts.
Of all kinds of introverts.
Quiet, man.
But yeah, man, that's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Alright, this podcast is a book review. I know we ain't got one in time. We're going to be doing more.
Yeah.
So the whole thing's a straight book review on a book called The Mask of Masculinity. Man's got our notes and that, you know, we got our notes, actually wrote notes.
Already in this bitch. Alright.
I listened to it one time, yeah. I wrote down the chapters and I did my notes and then listened to it again yesterday. So, you know, you hear things you never heard before when you listen to it again, innit?
Yeah, the second time. Yeah.
It's a good book though, we'll recommend it.
Yep. Oh, you already said the book title, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so shall we just jump straight in or give a little background about the guy who wrote it?
You know what, let's just jump in.
Let's jump in. Yeah. Alright, so in this book, the guy talks about 9 different masks that men wear. And I think he got these from like interviewing the people on his podcast called The School of Life. And these masks are...
You got the stoic mask, the athlete's mask, the material mask, the sexual mask, the aggressive mask, the joker mask, and the invincible mask. That's what we got, fam. That's the 9.
Wait, what? I think you missed some.
Did I? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh shit, I missed 2.
2 more. Yeah. I got 2 more.
Oh, and that alpha mask.
Yeah.
Just send that from your notes.
Okay.
I don't know what alpha mask was, you know.
Didn't prepare, did you? Nah, it's the know-it-all mask.
Oh yeah,
the know-it-all mask, you know. And I kept thinking to myself, there must be a 10th mask. Cause like 9 is such a weird number.
I love 9 though. My birthday on 9, innit?
9, but 9 feels like it just needs one more to follow up. That's why I put like 10 question mark. But I think that's probably like other masks that we wear. But yeah, so let's talk about the first mask, the stoic mask.
What actually is stoicism?
Stoicism.
Yeah, I remember you introducing it to me some time ago, but I still really ain't got the gist of it 100%.
I think the gist of it is, I think this sort of, just to bring it back to this, the stoic that this guy is talking about is probably like the shadow side of stoicism.
Yeah.
So stoicism is about not letting your emotions control your actions, and also just be willing to act and do what needs to be done as a response to your emotions or the environment, but not as a reaction to your emotions.
See, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
But like, what is it? What does it mean? Like some people being extreme with it, about like not completely denying emotion or something.
Right. Yeah. So that's when it becomes a mask, because it's a way of life. Like it becomes a mask when you're being like this, when you go too extreme about it. Because then, like, you know, to attach it to masculinity, then it's like, you know, being tough and suppressing your emotions, you know.
I remember one time when I was crying as a kid and my mum's boyfriend was like, "Don't cry, you're a man." So that could be an example of it, I guess.
That's definitely an example of how we're socialized into, you know, forming this false identity of masculinity. And the stoic one is definitely one that comes up a lot. Be tough, be a man. You know, a real man doesn't cry. But and this guy says like if you take off that mask here, you're gonna be able to, you basically give yourself permission to feel again, to have to experience your emotions. And again, like I said, like this is also gonna help you realize what real stoicism is as well. Because like it gives you more emotional freedom again, like, so you don't let your emotions take you over. Thoughts?
Oh, lost, bro. I had some thoughts then, but I felt put on the spot when you said thoughts. As soon as you said thoughts, and my mind went like, what? And I was like, boo, blank.
Penny for your thoughts. So.
You know, one of them. Everything came rushing in quick. It's like, oh yeah, you're being recorded. And I was like, wait, what?
Nah, puts you on the spot, innit?
Yeah. I got no thoughts. I forgot, you know.
But yeah, even sorry, you want to?
I was gonna ask, like, what mask have you identified with the most, like, through your life?
I was gonna talk about that after we.
Alright, come. Yeah. I'm rushing. I was gonna get to the other stuff.
Yeah. Like, don't worry, you know, guys, don't rush. You know, we got time. We'll do this for like the first 20 minutes or whatever, and then go into more personal.
Yeah.
Like this. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he tells a story about how everyone. Like after his brother got out of jail, so this is in the book, in the audiobook, or book. Like they were around in the kitchen, and then everyone else was crying, but he wasn't. Even though everyone else was willing to like show their emotions, his brother was crying his eyes out.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
So that's another negative of like putting on this stoic mask, because it doesn't allow you to like open up and connect with other people emotionally as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but sometimes as a man, you feel like you have that obligation. You have to be strong. And what comes to mind is when Jordan Peterson, of course, he says, "Here's a goal. Try to be the strongest person at your father's funeral or something like that."
Yeah.
And I believe I was that for my granddad, because everyone was crying and that, and everyone was upset and getting angry. Some of them, but like. It's a difficult thing, you know. It's a difficult situation.
Yeah, I think it also depends on what you mean by being strong. Like, does not showing your emotions make you strong?
That's what we're told, yeah.
And also for like that, like the way I saw the Jordan Peterson one, like it's not as in. I'm not saying this is how you interpreted it, but I'm saying like for him, I think that's what I think he meant was. You have to be the most reliable person at someone's, like, you know, your grandfather's funeral, your mom's funeral, whatever. Like, so instead of like, so you can still cry, you can still grieve, but you can't let that prevent you from, I don't know, making sure everyone gets home safe, making sure, you know, the reception was done well, making sure, I don't know, they played the music that the person who died would have wanted. So I think that's what I take from that. Like, you have to be reliable as a person. But like again, like we do feel this pressure as we grow up as men to be the one that's, well, that's another mask, as the know-it-all. Like you have to know what's happening in it. Like you have to be relied upon, you have to be strong.
Yeah, I definitely met a few of these masks, you know, in people and in myself.
For sure. So, alright, you wanna cover the next one?
Yeah, the athlete's mask.
Yeah.
I was sort of like encouraged to kill each other basically, especially back in the days when boxing first came out, or stuff like that. Like, what happens if someone gets knocked out and they never wake up? What?
Then the fight is over, innit? The real fight is over.
I think Mike Tyson definitely like held that mask for some while.
Oh yeah.
A few of the masks, the invincible mask also.
Yeah, I think the athlete mask, like. Yeah, I think we can talk about how it affected us as well, innit? Like, so the athlete mask, I think, so it's about being good at sports, about being like, you know, the best at winning and all this stuff, innit? Like you said, Mike Tyson definitely had that.
Yeah.
He definitely had that. Like, and I don't know, like people who put on this mask find value in that. Like people will accept me because I'm good at basketball or football or. That's what they identify with.
That's how they gain their value as a human, isn't it?
Pretty much. And most like most athletes who have like had a severe injury and couldn't like play anymore, whatever sport they did.
Carried on.
They like the ones that put their identity as the sport, they fell more into depression and all these other dark states. But the ones that found value in something else, is it just me or is someone?
Some guy's knocking upstairs, but
come in. But yeah, like so, like And the ones that didn't identify with themselves, like, oh yeah, I'm a footballer and that's all I am. The ones who didn't do that, they had other stuff to focus on. So after they had this injury, they still continued to be happy. They were sad that they couldn't play their game anymore, but they still continued on to other stuff, like focusing on their family, starting their own businesses. So like after taking that mask off, like you can enjoy new things. Enjoy more new things.
You know what I like at the end of the chapters as well, when he goes like, and don't worry, like athlete man, so and so, you're more than this embodiment and la la la. I thought that was kind of cool still, because I know for a fact it's going to be hitting some man's heart.
Yeah.
Like when they've seen, oh shit, that's the mask I'm fully wearing right now and all that, and just like sort of I don't know.
Because with most of them, they've been wearing that mask since they were kids.
Their whole life.
Their whole life. So I can see how it's difficult to remove that mask. Next mask!
Material. So the man who...
Money.
Is a trick, basically. Buys the BN. Buys the big TV.
Oh.
He just buys like all these things because it's like he thinks that's how he can get his self-worth, innit? And it's sad because like they're just material things, bro. They're just things. But I don't know.
But they put too much value on the material things and forget about
it's sad.
The ethereal stuff.
It's quite a mind fuck, man. To be in that sort of body. To like be like, nah, I ain't gonna buy a bag from Poundland. I'm gonna go buy some Gucci bag and all that kind of stuff. But why? To impress strangers, to impress people you don't even know. Yeah. Like, I don't get it. Obviously, I probably wore all these masks throughout my life. Yeah. Like, parts of them, not to the extremes, I don't believe. Again, I think
there's a lot of social pressure to put on these masks at times. Especially like the one just, like let me get the new Nikes, everyone's got the new Nikes. Or the new Jordans or whatever, and like, it's all image gang. And at the West,
real talk, it is all image gang. Right. Would you even buy it if you couldn't take a picture of it?
Exactly.
And upload it on your Snap and all that kind of balance?
Show all these people.
I guarantee if they couldn't promote it and show it on their online persona, they wouldn't even buy it.
Exactly. Like, I want others to see. So they're trying to prove their worth by buying all this stuff.
But you're more than that, trust me. We're all more than all these masks we tend to put on.
I think the problem is when you start to identify with these masks instead of using them as tools, because they are tools. At the end of the day, they are tools. The material, the money, it's a tool. You need it to pay bills. You need it to whatever, right? But you don't need to identify with it. It doesn't need to become part of your persona.
Cool.
Right? And it's like, it's a never winning game. There's always going to be someone who's got more money than you.
Yeah, man. It says in the book, there's always someone who's had your dream and had enough of it, or wanted more. Like, there's one guy who gets 5 likes, he wants more likes. There's one guy who gets 1,000 likes, he wants more likes. It's funny, it's bizarre. So that's kind of
Right, so when you take this mask off, you will find inner peace. You will accept yourself for who you are and not base your identity on your possessions.
Yeah, man. You know you're worth more than your possessions.
Yeah.
And for women as well. Like, if you have to put makeup on and have filters on for you to start feeling yourself, you're doing it wrong. That's part of that material mask as well. Because obviously it's not just man out here. I'd love to see a woman's version. I'd love to see a woman write a book about the femininity. Yeah.
We should ask Tina about it.
Yeah. We will.
Yeah.
That'd be good still.
And that's a good segue into the sexual mask.
Pick up artists and that, innit?
I mean, yeah, basically, innit? Like,
or the player.
Yeah, the player.
The guy who thinks like
PAMP.
Because he can just
man gets girls, you know.
The women with that. He gets his like foundation from that.
Exactly, like because he thinks he can get that makes him a real man. Like all his sexual conquests, that all defines him as a man. Because if you can't get girls, you're not a man.
That's that playground. It's that secondary school sort of thinking, that is.
Yeah. What? You've never kissed a girl, really? a man then. But yeah, and obviously again, this is almost like the material mask as well. Like you're gonna keep chasing girls, and you're not gonna find that inner fulfillment just doing that, because there's more to life than that. So if you take this mask off, you're gonna allow yourself to build more healthy relationships with the ladies, and not only with the ladies, but with yourself.
Yeah, real talk.
And with other men as well, Next mask.
The aggressive mask. The aggressive mask. That's funny.
A man has to be aggressive, bro. A man has to cross boundaries. He has to have, lots of fights, because that's what makes a man, right?
Yeah, I've seen that bare times. Remember one time I was in Perry Bar, one stop, yeah. I'm just walking out the toilet like la 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 la, and I see this aggressive tall guy just coming in like it's like so he really needed to prove something that he was hard or something like that, and I was just looking at him like, bro, it ain't intimidating no one.
Yeah.
It probably was, but not me. I know, because I knew straight away, you're putting on some mask there hard.
Why do you think people wear this mask?
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's part of their idea of what they are, innit? Carl Jung though, people don't have the ideas have the people.
Sure. Yeah, so they're possessed, innit?
I don't think there's much like smartness around the aggressive mask also, because it's like, me and you have a problem, we're not going to talk it out, they're just going to get angry and start fighting or punch up or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the aggressive mask. Because you're clouded with like anger, emotion in it.
Oh yeah.
Like they think the top dog is the most aggressive one.
Yeah, the most aggressive dog is the top dog, isn't it? I don't know, it's weird, man. Like, and this mask, it's like you find it a lot in men than in women.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
Like definitely the aggressive mask. Cause like even like a man that's kind of passive and just weak and a wimp. Like that's not the things with the aggressive mask. Again, like if you use it as a tool, like Carl Jung said, you can integrate it in. You can integrate it into part of yourself. So you can be aggressive at the right moments. You can be aggressive to protect something, but not to destroy something. So that would be the light side of this shadow mask.
It's like you can have tender aggression.
Right?
I like that.
Yeah. So if you take this mask off, you're gonna have emotional control, because aggression definitely is fueled by anger, frustration, all those emotions. And I think like most of the people who are aggressive, they've had like some experience where someone's just like pushed them. You know what I mean? Just like push them, constantly stepping on them. So they've kind of become angry at others. And if you take this mask off, you'll give yourself some peace and maybe even forgive others.
It's exhausting carrying that around, bro, that hatred and that. Because like you're still thinking about the past, like this man, what he did to you and all that kind of stuff, or woman. But you need to let that go.
Let it go.
Right? For you need to let it go for you, forgive them for you, and then just move on.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that. But sometimes misery loves company, so your friends will be going like, yeah, you never forgive him, blah blah blah. But like you're getting nowhere, you're not moving forward if you're not like forgiving people.
Yeah.
And just remembering like everyone's human, innit? No one's perfect.
Yeah. Next mask.
A joke.
The funny man.
I remember doing this one time. I must have been suppressing slow emotion or something. I was in year 2 or year 1.
How do you remember something from year 1?
I don't know, bro. I just remember it vividly.
Yeah.
I was either in year 2 or year 1 at home, and something happened, yeah. So I was just bawling, crying, and that. And then I walk past the mirror, and I look at myself in the mirror while I'm bawling, crying, being dramatic, and that. And I just start laughing.
That's one of them ones. Like, well, it's really different. Like when I got my ass beat by my my auntie or my uncle, after they beat me, I would laugh afterwards.
I get that.
But you know what I mean? But I think it may be different to your experience.
In this situation, it was different.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I sort of like just owned. That helped me own the emotion, I guess, by putting that mask on, by just laughing. People like if I look like a psychopath or something, because I'm a kid, bored of it, crying, and I just start laughing at myself and stuff. And I just turned it around. I stopped crying, and I was just laughing, and then I was okay again. So that might have been a part from a young age where I put the Joker mask on my face, you know.
Oh. So you think you put the mask on, the Joker mask on, to suppress those?
Possibly.
Those other emotions. Yeah.
I remember thinking to myself as a kid, like, what would happen if I just start laughing now? And I just started laughing, and it turned it around, and it made me feel good. That temporary good.
Yeah.
It made me feel good again.
Yeah, I'm guessing that didn't last long.
Probably not.
Yeah. Again, like with this mask, it's about laughing your problems away, innit? Like you use, like you're sarcastic and you're a little bit cynical. You just laugh at your problems as if that's gonna fix them, but not really. So, what do you think happens after they remove this mask, the Joker mask?
I think a lot of people put pressure on themselves as being the comedian and Joker, even when they're not even feeling to make people laugh. They still wish to make them laugh because they've suffered and they know how it is to feel bad and down. And they know it's like a temporary sort of fix. It had been a temporary fix to their problems, so it can also be a temporary fix to other man's problems.
Yeah.
That you can like, help them to smile, have a laugh and that. And because you just know who feels it, knows it.
Yeah.
And it said a lot in the book about comedians.
Yeah, I did, didn't it? Like,
and in that,
talking
that
about
sort of thing.
Robin Williams and stuff.
Yeah, rest in peace.
R.I.P. But yeah, so taking this mask off will also allow other people to take you more seriously. Because if you're always joking around and that's like your shtick, then people won't really take anything you say seriously.
Yeah, it did say like the Joker was there for everyone to like laugh at, but you could never like have a serious conversation with the Joker. And like strangely, the Joker kid was always on his own. Right. He never really like had group of friends and that. Yeah. There was something about him that was isolated.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is what people will respect you more as well. Next mask.
Invincibility.
Invincibility. I'm bulletproof. Well, not that invincible, but so this is the one that says men are fearless. Men are not meant to feel fear. You are invincible. You are unbreakable. Yeah, but I think people put this mask on again, like the rest of the masks, to cover up some weakness in it. Like they're afraid to admit that
all of them are
that they have a weakness in it.
Yeah, I hear that.
So this when you put on the invisible mask, you also take more risks as well. Shit, he spoke about this. I don't know if it was a daredevil or something.
Yeah,
that broke like almost every single bone in his body, all because he thought it was invisible.
Jesus.
Invincible. But yeah, it's a weird mask. And instead of taking risks all the time, like once you take this mask off, you have higher self-esteem. You again build deeper relationships with other people as well. I guess you won't put yourself in danger anymore, so other people won't worry so much about you.
It's quite the attention-seeking sort of mask,
right?
So you see them people like climbing up cranes and big buildings, hanging a woman up with holding her hand for a picture, for an Instagram photo or something.
Yeah. Do it for the gram.
Oh, I did write them all down. The know-it-all, an alpha.
What?
I didn't write them down. I just didn't read them.
Oh, you didn't realize?
Okay, yeah, the know-it-all. You're done with Invincible.
Yeah.
The next one is the know-it-all. I remember one guy, he used to go on like this all the time, and you could kind of like see through it how like that's how he'd sort of like get his sense of meaning and that and value, because like he'd just go on and on and on and do monologues, not even paragraphs of Facebook statuses and this and that and that.
So trying to prove himself by what he knows.
You don't know nothing though. You have to keep that mindset that you don't know nothing. It's like you're just gonna keep learning if you think.
But this is what made Socrates, this what made him one of the most wisest people ever, innit? Like,
so they say, yeah.
Yeah, it says like I don't know, he walked into a town or something, and then some old lady psychic said he was the wisest man ever, and he said, "No, I know nothing," or something along those lines. But basically, he acknowledged his own ignorance, and that's what made him wise.
Yeah, big thing that is.
Again, this guy is the know-it-all mask. Doesn't wanna, because he thinks like if you don't know anything, then you're weak as well. But if you drop this mask, it's gonna give you an opportunity to learn from others, and also others will want to be around you to learn something as well. Because no one wants to be around someone who's a know-it-all.
He kept saying as well, 2 ears, 1 mouth.
Yeah, like God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
There's always something you can learn from other people.
Always.
Alpha mask or?
Yeah, I was thinking of the Abraham Lincoln quote, but the alpha mask. If you're an alpha, if you're not an alpha, you are a beta. A beta male is weak. You cannot be a beta male. You gotta be alpha, innit? You have to be dominant. But I don't think many people want to be around those kind of people, innit?
I think alpha is like such a word, like it can be associated with so many things. I think a lot of people think alpha is, like you said, the dominant sort of person and that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I don't think a true alpha is dominant. It has to be dominant like that. He's like a humble sort of person. Like he just has this sort of vibe to him where like, he doesn't have to prove himself. No, alpha's quite proving himself to people. You don't have to prove yourself to no one, except obviously yourself.
Because you already know that you are an alpha, innit? It's like a lion doesn't look in the mirror and say, "I'm a lion, I'm a lion, I'm a lion." It's already a lion. Like, like I get what you mean. Like a true alpha isn't someone who's domineering like that. It's not like.
I think they mix it up with the asshole. Some people.
Yeah. Again, that's the dark side of the alpha-ness equation, I guess. Like, people get, I don't want to say toxic masculinity.
Yeah, man, what a word.
It's just such a dumb word. But yeah, an alpha creates like, a real alpha, he creates like a win-win situation for the people around him. He's not trying to win and make sure others lose. He's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and it's the best thing for me and for everyone else. So, I think an alpha is someone who's a good leader as well. And obviously, if you drop this mask, you're gonna have freedom and a deeper sense of love as well. Again, you don't have to prove yourself to other people because you already know who you are. And
we'll be back in 1 second. I think I said what I need to say about the alpha one,
Okay, I think that's all it was. Wait, so this guy here, Lewishowes, the author, so on his podcast he always asks like the male guests 3 questions. I'm just gonna ask you them and then see. Alright, first question, what does it mean for you to be a man? Obviously 1 sentence, because we only have like a minute or 2 left.
1 sentence? To be true to yourself, there you go.
What is your greatest fear?
To not take advantage of this of being here.
Who are you pretending to be?
For the majority of my life, probably the Joker one,
Yeah.
I've obviously had different masks of different things, but I've always been the funny guy. I always wanted to make all the family laugh and that, and put on a show and all this stuff, bring some light up and that. Same questions to you. What's the first one?
Thank you for watching this episode of Mind Screen. Okay, alright. What does it mean for you to be a man? I've discovered that what it means to be a man is to follow your own path and not be distracted by other temptations, I should say.
Yeah, copy me then, okay.
What is it? That's all you said. What did you say?
Stay true to yourself.
And I said,
you ain't copying my You always copying my
next question. I guess my greatest fear is not fulfilling my full potential, because I have this idea in my head of who I really want to be.
Yeah.
Like the man I want to be. And yeah, I think if I don't come close to that, or if I'm not heading in that direction,
I can't live with myself if I'm not, that voice in my head is hot, it's loud, Can't live with myself if I'm not doing that. I have to take advantage of being here.
For sure, man. That's
try my best, man.
Who am I pretending to be? I don't know who I'm pretending to be right now, but looking at the masks, I definitely went to a phase of the stoic mask. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna let anything affect me. I'm just gonna be
definitely
not swayed, just forward, laugh at other people's pettiness and pretend to be humble and all that shit. I was also the know-it-all a little bit in college, because I felt like I was the smartest in a class full of 5 people. Like, come on, that's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. And then you went to uni and you're like, oh, I'm a damn motherfucker. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think those 2 masks have definitely been on my face. So, guys, you decide. Mask off. Fucking mask on. Hey, mask off. That's how we're ending it, by the way. Fucking mask on. Mask
okay, I'm gonna add some quick.
What? It's over, man.
Nah.
It's over. Okay.
There was some good little gems out there. Okay, chapter 4, he's saying 5 most painful moments of your life. Journal it, Write down on paper, read it out loud. Now, the majority of people will not be doing this. The majority of people do not write down the thing. So, you can do a thing I did like one time ago, just randomly, made me feel a hell of a lot better. Just actually speak up, I just sat up here, I just spoke out about this traumatic experience. I wasn't even talking to anyone, but I was talking as if I was talking to someone.
Right.
And after I just got it off my chest and said it out loud and heard it and everything, it made me feel a lot better. So it might help one of you feel a lot better if you do it, if you don't want to be writing the things down, innit? Mm-hmm. Chapter 5, he goes on about before bed. So make sure you say 3 things you're grateful for, and ask the last person you spoke to 3 things you're grateful for.
Oh, okay.
Hit me, go on. Imagine
family. Okay, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for, I guess, the people I've chosen to be around me. You, Faz, them guys. I guess I'm grateful that I can learn more. Yeah, I'm grateful for that as well.
Yeah, alright, I'm grateful. It's hard to not pick the same stuff, innit?
Yeah.
I'm trying to not pick the same stuff. I'm grateful for my mind. The fact like I can... Okay, I'm grateful for my mind. I'm grateful for being here, obviously. Grateful for the podcast as well, for doing the podcast and having people like watch it and subscribe. It's cool. I'm grateful for that. 100%. And chapter 7, he's basically saying like, it's best to write it down on a page than to keep it in a loop in your head, going around and around and around. There was one book reference he gave. It's called 10% Happier. Search that book up if you want. 2 ears, 1 mouth. He says that. Another book, Never Split the Difference. So you guys can check out that. I got some little notes here. Not seeking to understand our feelings as a man is toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm done there because these other ones could be done for some other pod because they're just some questions.
Okay, cool. Right. So again, these masks again, we can use the masks if it benefits you and others as well. But it's a tool to be used. You have to take it off if it's not useful, if it's not helping you, if it's doing more harm than good. You definitely take it off.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess people will be thinking like, okay, so these are the masks for men. Like, how does a woman gain value from any of this? Any of the things we've spoken about right now? How does a woman?
She can gain bare value from that because she can see in her relationship if her man is starting to embody these masks.
Yes.
And she can sort of either introduce him to the book or be there for him when she realises the signs of what he's wearing in it, of what he's like portraying himself to be. One little quick thing, is always ask twice. I rate that. I like that. When you're asking a guy like how's he doing, and if you don't want to actually know how he's doing, don't ask him. Just straight up, don't ask him. But if you do, ask twice, because the majority of the times people just go, oh yeah, I'm alright. Because they're thinking he doesn't actually want to know what's happening in that. But if you want to know, ask him twice. Just make sure that they know in it. And them little things make a big difference in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Little steps at a time, little acts make greatness. Multiplied, yeah?
Yep. You got anything else?
Yeah, if you don't want a blackhead on your nose tomorrow, subscribe.
Yeah, yes. Join the Mindscript community, guys.
A big fat one, like what?
Someone just working out with the fucking blackhead. And you subscribe! What magic is this? What voodoo?
Thanks for watching, guys. Respect.
Yeah, see you in the next one.